How to fix missing Turkish language option in days gone. Welcome back to Teknobalta. During our recent investigations, we discovered that many players are struggling with a missing Turkish language option in days gone. Teknobalta's technical team has thoroughly tested every possible cause for this localization error. And today, we will guide you through exactly 15 necessary steps to restore your display settings permanently. Our first diagnostic step addresses the official Steam client configuration, where the application frequently fails to pull the correct language tag upon installation. Right-click Days Gone in your software library, navigate directly to Properties, select the General tab, and manually choose the Turkish language from the drop-down menu. This forces the client to reevaluate the installed localization packages. If the user interface fails to update, Teknobalta's analysis revealed that forcing the configuration file yields high success rates. Navigate to your Steam installation folder, open the Steam Apps directory, and access the application manifest file associated with Days Gone using a standard text editor. Locate the language, string variable, and manually change the parameter to Turkish before saving the document. For users launching from the Epic Games platform, our testing showed that direct launcher arguments can safely override faulty in-game menus. Open your Epic Games launcher settings, scroll down to the Days Gone module, and check the box to allow additional command line arguments. Type in the culture command parameter with the TR tag to strictly force the engine to load the correct localization. Sometimes, corrupted launcher cache data prevents the background download of necessary regional language packets. Press the Windows key alongside R, type in your local application data path, and locate the primary Epic Games launcher folder. Delete the web cache directory entirely to refresh your server connection, and force the client to fetch those missing language files upon reboot. Teknobalta always recommends ensuring the total integrity of your game installation files as a fundamental troubleshooting measure. Both major clients offer a verification tool that algorithmically compares your local files against the server's master list. Running this comprehensive check will automatically identify and download any missing localization archives that initially failed to install. If you are running the game in an offline capacity, our experts noted that emulator configuration files directly dictate the primary display language. Locate your main installation directory and search for the initialization file named Steam Emulator Configuration. Open this file with Notepad, locate the specific language string, and rewrite the default value to Turkish. Depending on your specific offline build architecture, the configuration might instead be handled by an alternative API text document. Look for system configuration files ending in INI within the primary binaries directory of the game folder. Edit the language parameter similarly, ensuring you save the file correctly while being careful not to alter any surrounding code. During our rigorous testing phase, we discovered that Unreal Engine applications sometimes default exclusively to the host operating system's primary region. Open your primary Windows settings, navigate to the time and language interface, and ensure your regional format is set properly. This simple system-level adjustment can dynamically trigger the game to recognize and load your preferred locale. We can also manipulate the Unreal Engine parameters directly from the hidden application data folders on your system drive. Navigate to your local app data, find the Bend Game directory, and access the saved Windows configuration folder. Open the Master Engine configuration file and append the specific culture override strings at the bottom of the document. In that exact same configuration directory, the Game User Settings file securely stores your personalized display and interface preferences. Teknobalta found that manually adding a specific internationalization language tag here can force the UI to render flawlessly in your desired language. Open the document, locate the internationalization bracket, and input the correct locale codes. Our diagnostics showed that sometimes the game directory lacks the necessary administrative permissions to securely save the language changes you make in the menu. Right-click the Bend Game configuration folder, select Properties, and systematically uncheck the Read-Only box. Apply these permission changes to all subfolders and internal files to ensure your localization settings persist across system reboots. A common operational barrier we identified is the launcher operating without sufficient system privileges to allocate and write the language files. Close your client entirely, utilizing the Task Manager to ensure no background processes remain active. Right-click your main launcher executable and select Run as Administrator before booting the game engine again. Aggressive security software architectures can falsely flag and quarantine newly downloaded language packs, effectively stripping them from the Active Directory. Open your antivirus dashboard and meticulously check the recent protection history for any blocked files related to Days Gone. Restore these specific localization files immediately and add the entire game directory to your active exclusion list. If all standard methods fail, forcing the engine to generate entirely fresh configuration files is a proven Teknobalta methodology. Navigate back to the Bend Game folder in your local app data and delete the configuration folder, but strictly ensure your save games are backed up securely beforehand. Booting the game will create a clean slate, often resolving deep-rooted localization glitches permanently. Finally, we discovered that complex permission conflicts on secondary hard drives can cause dynamic language loading sequences to fail completely. If your game is installed on an external or secondary drive, consider securely migrating the installation to your primary Windows partition. This eliminates restrictive volume permission errors and allows the engine seamless access to the localization archives. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more.